Okay.
Yeah, and here's my man.
So I'm recording. Let's go.
Pause up, everybody. Welcome to Meowy Hour. I'm your host, Arden Moore. We got a couple gingers in the house, Rusty and Casey, my co-host. And joining me today on the show presented by the Cat Fancier Association, we have all-breed cat judge, Kathy Black. Woo! And my other co-pilot keeps us flying the friendly feline skies, all-breed CFA judge and editor of Cat Talk, Teresa Kiger. We got to give a big pause and applause to our very special guest today. And she wears many collars in the pet world. We're talking about, she is a pet trainer, a pet product developer, a media personality, a writer, and actually a pretty nice person. Of course, I'm talking about Geralynn Cada. Welcome to the show, Geralynn.
Thank you, ladies. I can't imagine being in a better place at this time ever. Like it's not possible. Y'all are so amazing.
We have some prizes to give away today. We'll talk about in a little bit, but we also, another drum roll. I used to be a glockenspielist. This show and the show for the next 3 months is brought to you by Pet King Brands, the makers of Zymox, which are like ear cleansers, shampoo, conditioner, very, very great product. Been around a long time. It's very, very good. And brush those teeth, put the additives in or whatever you want to do it. Oratine. Let's keep those kitty gums and teeth doing well. So we want to do a special thank you for them. As always, Geralynn, strap yourself in because I have to be corny. I'm from the Midwest. I know you're in Kansas, so you can maybe relate. So I have an honor that you are both a cat and dog expert. I have 3 bad jokes. Are you ready?
I'm so ready for this. Bring it on.
And you guys can answer, but you guys already read the answer, so unless you didn't know ahead of time, don't be saying it. What do you call a pile of kittens? A meowton. Okay, now we're going to do a dog-only joke. How are dogs like cell phones? Both have caller IDs.
Oh, caller.
Oh, that was bad.
Now this one kind of incorporates cats and dogs. What should you be careful about when it's raining cats and dogs?
I thought this was the funniest answer.
You don't want to step in a poodle.
Don't step on a poodle.
All
Oh,
right.
that's so cute. Those are great.
These are really, really bad. Hey, again, Geralynn Cada is our special guest. She is one of the many people behind Meowy Wana. I got your attention. And guess what? This is very cool. She's going to talk about on our show a new product for the whoofs out there, Doggy Wana. But first, we're going to have Kathy Black with a new segment called CFA Headlines. Take it away because my cat is stealing my treats, so I have to dash away.
Of course.
Okay, the headline today is that there is currently going on a virtual cat competition sponsored by the Half Moon Cat Club. This cat club is a new club that is there to help the house, that's mainly focused on household pets, your random bred cats. And they are putting on this virtual cat show. It is currently accepting entries. So go to vcc.cfa.org/halfmooncatclub2020. And they are fundraising to get their new cat club started. We've never had a cat club specifically just for the household pets and the random bred cats. So we want everyone to support this new club and have fun entering this new virtual cat show competition that's currently going on. So go to vcc.cfa.org/halfmooncatclub2020 and enter your cat's pictures today.
That sounds great. Thank you, Kathy. So again, as we said, the show's brought to you by Pet King Brands. They are the maker of Zymox and Oratine. Now, Zymox, it's for dogs or cats with ear issues. skin problems, also shampoo and conditioner. And I'm betting you two right now, Teresa and Kathy, in the cat world, cats have to get some baths, right?
Oh, yeah.
My cats are like, I'm so glad we are not having that, but we like Zymox. I've used Zymox for my dogs. I think our special guest from Meowy Hour, Geralynn Cada, haven't you used Zymox on your dogs?
I have. I actually have used their ear cleaner before. And there's
cool.
a reason why, for cats and for dogs, not just dogs.
Okay.
When I bathe my dogs and my cats at home. Now, I don't have a cat right now, but I have had cats in the past. And I'm going to bathe them at home. It's just going to happen.
Yes.
So you can't help from getting a little bit of water in their ears. It's impossible to bathe your animal properly and thoroughly without getting a little splash of water in their ears, which causes trouble. And this is a preventative. If you give them a little bit of Zymox before you bathe them, you set up the ear for the proper balance so that that water flushes out instead of causing a little bacterial growth or an infection, possible infection. So I'm a big fan of being preventative. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I'm all ears on that. I'm all ears. I heard you. So here's the deal. That photo you just saw that Kathy put up is a gift basket that a winner is going to win if they can answer this trivia question. Now, Geralynn, you cannot answer this question. Probably know the answer. But I want to first say, I'm going to do the trivia and then Kathy will say about last week. How's that?
Okay.
Okay, so here's tonight's trivia question. And it follows the theme of our special guest, Geralynn, because it has to do with catnip. All right. Which of the following is not a common nickname for catnip? Which one is not? A, cat mint, B, cat's wart, C, cat chew. Again, A, cat mint, B, cat's wart, it's W-O-R-T, or cat chew, C-H-E-W. Which one of those is not another name for that catnip? The winner is going to get that gift basket provided by Pet King Brands. So Kathy, you want to tell them how that works?
Yeah, that has a shampoo, a conditioner, an ear cleaner, and the toothpaste. So
yeah, it's the brushless one for the kitties. So they're like, I don't want a toothbrush in my mouth, but I can do the brushless one.
So
Thank you.
It's hard to brush a cat's teeth.
Yeah.
It really
they have
is.
a hinge on either side. It does this. I do that all the time with Casey and Rusty. They're like, leave me alone.
So
all right.
Type your answer in the comment section on our Facebook page, the Cat Fancy Association CFA page. There you can find us live now, or you can watch it at any time. I don't pick the winner until Sunday afternoon because I'm busy.
So it's a really nice gift basket. So we're going to announce the winner from last week's trivia contest won a cat carrier from Sturdy Products. We really appreciate that. Thank you, Penny and Rich. The question was, name the year that the song Stray Cat Strut by the Stray Cats first debuted in the United States.
I don't want to give the year just because it tells me it tells my age.
You were in diapers doing the song.
You don't know that.
We had some people that guessed multiple times on different and gave different answers. They're like,
wow, they wanted the prize. Well, the year was
wanted that carrier, but
awesome. The year was 1982. So, Kathy, who won?
Vicki Jensen.
Okay.
And she's already been
congratulations, Vicki.
And I think they've already mailed her carrier. So congratulations to Vicki Jensen. She was the random correct answer that was chosen to win that prize.
Nice. And I appreciate you doing that, Kathy. Now, there's more prizes on the show thanks to our special guest, Geralynn Cada. Now, I first met her at a Meowy Hour booth. Now, that sounds like I'm picking up drugs. I'm not.
So you met me before that a couple of times, but you really remember our first experience together in the Meowy Hour booth because it was so
It was nice. And it was at Global. And Meowy Hour guys, is not psychogenic. It's not marijuana for cats. Let's just do that. It doesn't have the psychogenic THC. It has an herb, catnip, which is the, for all you fancy botanists, it's Nepeta cataria, if you want to make me sound like I'm impressive. But they also now have a new calming product, and they're announcing it on our show today, Doggy Wanna.
Doggy wanna, yay! I know.
Yeah. So let's get going with this show. We have a lot to talk with our special guest, Geralynn Cada. She's talking to us right now from Overland Park in Kansas. But I'm going to just throw a curveball at you. What's your relationship years ago in Vegas with Siegfried and Roy?
So, great question. The hilarious question. I actually used to train Siegfried and Roy's dogs for them.
Really?
I did. I trained 7 dogs for them over our career together. It was after Roy had been had his incident. I'll call his incident.
Yeah.
It was actually a couple of years after his incident because it took him at least a year to really get going. Yeah. And get stabilized. So
what kind of dogs did they have when you were training?
So they had 2 sets of dogs. One was I'll call a set of Havanese. They had a Havanese. They had a Havanese Shih Tzu mix who was pregnant, and they had 2 very beautiful French bulldogs. One was named Mademoiselle, and Mademoiselle liked to bite people. So I was brought in to rehabilitate Mademoiselle originally because they had a lot of visitors, obviously, all the time.
Aren't you glad you were brought in to keep the tigers from biting?
Well, true, yes. But they did teach me how they taught all their tigers. So it was an interesting, absolutely. They just enveloped me. So it was a really great experience in my career to work with them, yes.
Well, the nice thing is they've done genetics on cats, and our cat that's in our living room, the gene pool isn't that much different than the big cat out in the wild. I have 2 all-breed judges right here. I hope they're going to nod yes with me on that. So I'm sure that some of the techniques for learning about tigers can apply to the sofa cats.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, tigers love catnip. You think cats are crazy about catnip? Think about one of Siegfried and Roy's tigers, like rolling around and drooling, and their eyes, the pupils dilate, and they start purring constantly. So think of the catnip effect on such a large animal like that, like a large cat, and absolutely, it's the same thing.
You know, the next time I go in the jungle, I'm bringing a backpack full of Meowy Wanna. And I think I could be the Pied Piper of big tigers.
Oh, I'm so scared to go hiking in Vegas with catnip on me. You have no idea. I will stop you right now, even from your back door out in Dallas. I will stop you from hiking with catnip on you. There are bobcats and other cats would love to go, what do you got? Well, you aren't going to show me? Well, let's find out. So let's not have that go there, because if I have a 911 from Arden Moore on my phone, I'll probably start crying.
Well, folks, we have somebody here like me that loves cats and loves dogs. And I think it's kind of interesting because you mentioned your dog training skills, and yet you're kind of known as one of the big headliners for the product Meowy Wanna. So how did a dog trainer get into catnip?
Another great question, and a funny question, because first of all, after training so many dogs in people's homes, not only across Las Vegas and the greater Las Vegas area, but also across Arizona and California at the time, and then internationally, because we were able to Zoom or we had Skype to be able to train internationally, I saw how so many people that own dogs also own cats, but nobody ever hired me to help them with the cats. And the cats were a bigger mess than the dogs. They would have to separate them. They'd have the cats on this floor and the dogs on this floor, and they'd have to hide the cat bowls from the dogs because the dogs were getting sick from eating cat food. It's too high in protein for them. And, so there were so many variables going on, and nobody was addressing the how can we all just we all just dog along issue.
Oh my God, guys, she's worse than me. I think that was possible.
Quite, but close. So when I met my husband at Super Zoo and we were discussing going into business together, I said, you know, honey, I love you and I love dogs, but I feel sorry for cats. I pity the kitty.
Good.
And I would really love to see something change in the cat's dynamic, because if we don't, then we're going to see a lot more cats being rescued or a lot more cats being surrendered. And so I listened to the needs of the cats, bottom line. I listened to the needs of the cats, even though I had such a calling to the dogs. I mean, I grew up with cats. My first cat was a Siamese. My second cat lived to be 25 or almost 25. And I felt very compelled to do something to help them get along. So
I like that. Well, I mean, you grew up in a farm in Nebraska, right? See, I've been doing my homework. Okay. So you had all kinds of critters, which is kind of cool. But when you talk about
snakes.
Yeah. When you talk about, and you're so glamorous, I just can't see you as a farm girl.
Look back on my Facebook page, you'll see.
Okay. All right.
And I have a beautiful mom and dad. So truth be told, yes, a little glamour is genetic. My parents are beautiful and they're in their 80s and they're both animal people. And I think animal people slow down your aging. When you're an animal person, it slows down your aging process.
I mean, all three of us here, we're in our 90s, right?
Yeah,
ladies?
I was going to say, I thought 120 was what I researched online. You all look awesome. You look like you're 40. Yeah. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'll take 40. I'll take 40.
Love it.
I want to be aged like a cat. Cats don't age like dogs. You know, I love my dogs, and they get the cataracts you can see, and the white muzzles, and the cats are like, I'm 20 and I'm a 10 still.
Unless you're a Bichon. Bichons don't age.
Oh, okay.
Bichons never age. It take until they are bam in your face 16. They look like they're a puppy still.
All right.
There are a few dog breeds that do that, but I agree with you. Cats don't age. It really takes until there's a systems issue for them to start aging.
So we're talking about catnip, and I years ago worked at Prevention Magazine. I've written herb books, and I thought maybe we can talk a little bit about some catnip trivia with you, Geralynn, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
And the first thing is for cats, it's a stimulant, but for people, it's a relaxant. So I was taught years ago at Rodale Press, get the kitty right before dinner, right before night, let them get all their zoomies out with their organic catnip while you sip on a cup of organic catnip tea, because it's actually a member of the mint family. So what do you think about how it's kind of a relaxant for our body system, but the cats are like, yeah.
Well, you were ahead of the game, first of all. And so was Prevention Magazine, ahead of the game. They just didn't act on it and create their own catnip tea brand. If you actually go to the grocery store right now, you will find catnip tea for humans.
Nice.
But let's back up and go through the receptor process. I have a biochemistry degree, so I understand a lot about receptors in your body. Okay. And cats have receptors in their cheeks, in the roof of their mouth, in their face, and their stomach. Dogs and people have receptors in their stomach for catnip, for the nepidolactone, which is the organic compound that attaches to the receptor that goes to places in your brain. So the place that the receptors in the cat's mouth and face go to a different place in their brain than their stomach. And that message that goes to their brain when they have catnip is to be giddy. And then they eat catnip and it goes into their stomach, and then it goes into a place of their brain that helps them relax.
Nice.
So,
and say that big word again that starts with an N.
So nepidolactone, which is the organic compound, or also call it the oil that's in the actual catnip plant, which is what we're after when we want the kitty to get giddy.
And people look at catnip; it's very easy to grow, but I understand it really first was discovered in Europe, and now it's here and everywhere, right?
Yes, but there's a couple of secrets. One of the secrets is it takes 2 years for the plant to fully mature. So if you grow catnip in your backyard, it is the first year that it grows, the cats will like it, but they won't go crazy or get that giddy effect. It takes the second sprouting for it to actually produce the oil packets that have nepidolactone in them. Number one. Number two, it will overtake your yard. So you want to container grow it, not just grow it like.
Oh, good tip, because it's like bamboo. Oh my gosh, my neighbor has bamboo. It's like all over. Well, that's
I grew
kinda
some
cool.
mint. I grew some mint in a container garden in my backyard, and it was instantly poof. And so I had catnip and mint next to each other, and they both in different containers, and they'll overtake your entire backyard.
Well, it's good. You can grow it indoors too if you live in a cold place like Kansas, right?
Correct.
So you can do it year round.
If I'm correct,
I'm cold right now.
Catnip is a member of the mint family, is it not?
It is,
Right.
correct. And the Egyptians were the ones that originally did most of the observation of what the effects were. And they were the ones that originally drank it as tea for themselves to calm themselves. And as they were growing it, they noticed their cats were weaving in and out of it as it was growing, and they would love this. And that they were the ones that I believe originally discovered, or someone possibly before that discovered, but they benefited from that information and were really kind of the discoverers, if you will, of that whole concept.
So the kids weaved in, and they weaved like an Egyptian.
Weave like an Egyptian.
All right. Well, one thing we do want to do is caution, because Meowy Wana, and we're going to get to the doggy. What do you
Doggy
calling
Wana.
a doggy?
Doggy nip. Doggy Wana's doggy nip.
Okay, so it is not addictive, and they can't overdose, right? Let's do a little cautionary tale, my biochemist.
Yeah. So just as a disclaimer, there is no THC or CBD in catnip. It is just catnip. Now, we do have a CBD product with Meowy Wana, a tincture that's flavored. However, that is a separate product that is not, that has a catnip extract inside of the tincture. Okay. So, and also the receptors that a cat or a human has in their body, they only have so many receptors. Once those receptors are filled, then the rest just travels out of your body, and there's no addictiveness to this. It's not an addictive substance. Yes, they like it, but it's not an addictive substance. Yes.
So how long on average do cats get their yayas? What did you call, you had a phrase for it before the show started.
How long is the kitty giddy? So the kitty's going to be giddy. So about 80% of cats have the receptors for catnip, for the nepidolactone. About 95% of cats have the receptor for silvervine, which is very similar to that, but we'll talk about that later. Okay. And so cats that are about 6 months old and older will have this fun interaction with this catnip product that will attach to these receptors in their face and their mouth and tell their brain to get giddy. And for about 20 minutes, they're giddy.
Okay. All right. Now, what about, I know there was a study at Rutgers. I'm sorry, I'm a journalist. So I was doing some homework.
Yes.
And I like the fact that catnip is great for us to sip as a tea and great for the kitties to get giddy, but it's kind of a turnoff for some other pests that we don't like. What would be some of them? What don't like?
So a mosquito would dislike catnip oil very much so. But let me give you a little hint, and I'm glad that you brought this up. This was a great tip. You should not spray catnip oil on yourself as a mosquito repellent, because your skin oil actually changes the biochemistry of catnip oil, and then mosquitoes will still come at you. You're better off spraying it on the items around you that surround you. Spray it on, you can even spray it on your kitty a little bit if you'd like to keep the mosquitoes away from them, because it lays on their fur. But if you spray it on a human, it's not going to. You can spray it on your clothes, and that will keep the mosquitoes away from you. So that's an amazing thing. And it's 10,000 times stronger than DEET.
Than DEET? Well, I don't want DEET cologne myself.
I don't want DEET around me. So this is a better thing to spray on my clothing to keep mosquitoes away from me. Or spray it on your hair.
I moved to Texas from, you're like me, we were in California, and I'm like, what's that? Oh, it's a mosquito, and it's about my size.
Yeah.
So we have citronella plants on all our decks in our backyard, and I do this with the citronella.
Yes.
As I walk outside, and it has helped a lot. But this catnip, not only mosquitoes are not going to vote it as most popular herb. I understand it also is a big turnoff for other pests. What would be they? What would they be?
It actually will it can keep a lot of other animals away, but it will attract bobcats. And if you're in an area where you have bobcats, you may not want to spray it around your backyard. So
Okay, all right.
I
She
live
wants
in
to
an
keep me
area.
safe.
I live in an area where we do have a few of those, so I do not spray it on my backyard.
Okay.
And it will actually attract coyotes as well. So am I missing one? Which one?
No,
were you
no, but it
referring
also
to?
is a turnoff, I understand, for our favorite cockroaches and termites
Well,
and deer
yes.
ticks.
It is. It's supposed to be, but I have
Okay.
found that I sprinkle coffee grounds along my back fence as far away from my house as possible, and the cockroaches and the ticks and all of that are attracted to coffee grounds for some reason. I think
Really?
they eat them, and so I keep all of those things away by having as much coffee grounds out around my roses, which is the edge of my fence, as possible.
Now there's a good use of coffee grounds. Another
And you can get
catnip
them
thing.
free.
Yeah.
They give them free. Many coffee stores will
Oh,
hand you
really?
coffee grounds. Yes.
Oh, that's a
So,
great tip.
but
I like that.
I definitely spray. I do spray catnip spray around my backyard to keep bugs away. I don't have as much of a panic about the big cats in my backyard because I live on a path that's well traveled, and those
Okay.
cats aren't not a fan. But there is a massive coyote that lives behind my house, and I'm afraid he's going to hear about Doggy Nip and want to come knock on my back door and say, "Can I have a toy, please?"
So what is the difference between Doggy Nip and Meowy Wanna? And my tongue is getting a workout here. Okay.
Well, and it is, isn't it? So we are Meowy Wanna, which I say Meow Wanna, but I love Meowy Wanna, so I'm going to say that today.
I live in Texas now. I got to add a
you know,
syllable.
We're known for our
Meowy
blends.
Hour. You
So
got the meow.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Kathy.
right. So we're known for our blends, and we've blended our organic catnip or our naturally grown catnip, where catnip does not, because it's a bug repellent, you don't have to use any insecticides around it, and because it's just naturally a resilient plant, you don't have to add fertilizers to it or stimulate it in any way. It just grows naturally so amazingly well. We blend this with different other essences, like a little bit of lavender, and for my streams, we have a little bit of lavender and a little bit of passion flower. That's what Meowana is built on, or Meowy Wanna is built on.
And let's talk about the lavender safety, because you are being cautious. So we don't get calls coming in.
So there are some, I'll say it to you, I'll say it this way. If you take too strong of anything, let's just say the essential oil of lavender, it is not good for anybody. It's not good for humans. It's not good for dogs, and it's not really good for the environment. So be very cautious when you use essential oils of lavender. For a human being, it stimulates your estrogen levels, so it actually can cause breast cancer. I am not a fan of putting essential oils into pet products unless it's something that makes sense, and we'll go into that later. Lavender doesn't make sense, but what did make sense was it's a calming agent for cats. And if I have lavender petals that are dried, and I put those in between in my blend of catnip, then I have an amazing calming effect for cats. And in today's stressful times, or any stressful time, because we all have them, this is a really great therapy for them that is all natural. So I love this. Doggy Nip is just catnip right now. We will have we will have some Doggy Nip blends soon. They will be very similar to some of the Meowy Wanna blends, but they're a little different because dogs have a little different issue than cats. Let's just be real here. Cats are worried about climbing and chasing and pouncing and grooming and sleeping and hunting, and dogs have a different attitude every day. So we want them to have a different proposition for what works for them.
So now, this is a new line. Tell us with who you lining up with, because this is a big deal, guys. Go ahead.
It is, and my whole goal, my entire career in pets has been to help pet parents smile, because I have a firm belief that happier owner equals happier pet. And it's the truth with your children as well, or whoever's in your life. Happier you, happier those that surround you.
That's why I have these two in my life, Teresa and Kathy. They make me smile all the time.
And all three of you make me smile. So big hearts to all of you. Big old. But PetSmart and Petco embraced our idea at Smarter Paw for creating and I'm very thankful that they realized our vision and jumped on board with our vision and realized the importance of during times, especially like COVID, we have to do everything we can naturally to help relax our pets and ourselves first.
Yeah.
That should be our first mission. So I'm so grateful for both of them to jump on board. So I have a 6-month exclusive with PetSmart for
Wow.
Doggywana, where they are carrying not only our original Doggywana catnip bottle, which is catnip doggy nip, branded doggy nip, an amazing farms, the amazing farms that we partner with to grow. But we also came up with some really fun toys to put the doggy nip in that have a big Velcro pouch on the side, and you fill this with catnip or doggy nip, and the dogs will engage and play longer with our fun toys.
Now, I want to play now. I want to play.
I know, right? So we went ahead and we had a lot of fun. We have our Get the Munchies, hot dog and pizza. I mean, let's just be real. They make you giggle.
There goes my carb diet. Thanks.
Yes. Your dogs will satisfy the carb sensation.
So
these are really fun. My absolute favorite though, is the llama pinata, which is sold out in most of the stores. This is my get the potty started. It has a nice big fat pouch in the front. You tuck in your doggy nip, and your puppy has that fun smell sensation, because they do have receptors in their nose, those smell receptors, and catnip smells good. I love the smell of catnip.
My dog loves catnip. Now, do puppies respond to catnip the same way that kittens will not? Do they have to reach a certain age?
Well, because and that's a great point. Yes, puppies will still respond to it because their nose receptors have already developed. It's the kittens don't have the face receptors yet, and the ones on the roof of their mouth.
Okay, that's a good question.
Great, and it takes about 6 months for those to fully develop. And actually, truth be told, I've seen some kittens have those receptors develop right away. So it's really genetic. And kittens respond to silvervine sticks immediately. So they have the silvervine receptors already. It's the catnip receptors that take a little bit longer to develop. But the doggies love to play because the smell is fun. It ups the attractor factor of the toy, and it helps the pets play longer. And the goal is you want your pets to take great naps when they nap, but they have to play and have mental and physical stimulation in order to sleep better, to get that energy out, because they're normally working. I made a joke with Larry Kay the other day. You'll get a kick out of this. Someone said something to me once, and they said, well, I want to call it working like a dog. And I go, why? Dogs don't work like dogs anymore. Dogs sleep all day. We have to force them to play. Right?
Yeah. And folks, she made a reference to a great guy in the dog world. He's a best-selling author. He's a dog trainer. He's a great guy. His name's Larry Kay. And I want you to check out Facebook, because Geralynn and Larry Kay and Robbie Hess do a show called Dog Hugs. And it's a great show. And thank you. I was on it, and I learned from you guys how to take Kona, my dog, and I go, she comes from over the back and she does a hug. Yes.
Oh, so sweet. Well, so I was joking about how we actually have to schedule to work our dogs every day, where when, dogs were working out on farms or out, back in the day, they were out doing their thing. Now we create things for them to do to still meet those instinctual needs that they need to have met in order to not chew your couch, chew your shoes, and then chew your wallet at the vet's office when you have to have the towel removed from their intestinal tract. So it's really up to us.
Rusty has a question. I have a question, Geralynn.
Sure.
You see my paw? It's raised. You answer. Do you see it? Okay. Here's my question. I'm a dude, and I'm about 1.5 years old. Now, when it comes to organic catnip that you can find in like Meowy and stuff like that, which gender seems to have a better reaction, boys or girls, and why? Just curious, like a cat.
Well, it's a great question. And science tells us that it's boys, actually.
Oh, yay, power to the
and I think it has to do with the number of receptors. I think boys have more receptors. However, I don't think that's true across the whole board. I think that's just an average, that boys tend to have more than girls.
Maybe also their heads are bigger, and because their heads are bigger, they have more receptors.
That could be.
Ooh,
They
look at
could have
that.
double the receptors, and that gives them double the giddy, which I would be jealous of if I were a girl cat.
Well, they also, I've been told from the scientists that catnip, boys like it a little bit more because it's got the same chemical that can be found in a female cat's urine.
Yes.
Ooh. Ooh, you smell so beautiful today.
Wait, will you pee over here and then I'll tell you how beautiful you smell?
Well, the show would get to the piddles. I had to get a piddle in. All right. Well, this is cool. So, guys, you've been listening to us talk with Geralynn Cada, and she's going to give away 2 prizes. And for all of you listeners, you're going to save some ding change and money at the cash register. So you want to tell them about what the codes are and how to get to that first, and then we'll do the prizes.
Absolutely. So we're going to, I have created 2 codes. One is Meow Love 20.
Got it? Meow Love 20.
One is Dog Love 20.
Dog Love 20.
And you will be awarded 20% off for a purchase of $20 or more.
At meowywana.com or doggywana.com, right?
And doggywana.com. Yes, perfect.
Nice.
And then we're giving away 3 prizes tonight. We'll be giving away a bag of our Crunchy Munchies along with one of our toys. I believe it's the Get Blasted Rocket.
Okay, well, let's do a
We
close-up of
chose-
these treats. Let's see them. So you
Yes.
got, tell us what they got. We got Crunchy
So
Munchies.
this is
Nice.
chicken,
Okay.
Crunchy Munchie chicken. So this is chicken. It envelopes around a creamy center. So it's crunchy on the outside and it has a creamy center of valerian root and catnip
Good.
flavoring.
Okay.
Our salmon.
Nice.
And then also our tuna. These are fantastic. And truth be told, I use these as dog training treats. They're the best. My
Dogs like cat food anyway.
My dogs love these, and they're only 1.8 calories per treat, and there's a tiny bit of everything in them, and they're small, but they're just the right size for training. So I feel confident giving these to the dogs because I know it's not too much. But
Okay, so prize number 1 is going to be the cat treats plus a toy,
Plus
a
a
catnip
toy.
Okay.
And
The
then
second one is going to be a party pack for dog lovers. So guys, we are
Yes.
equal opportunity here. You all with your cute, cool cats, if you got dogs in the house, you can try to buy for this prize. It's a party pack with the Doggy Wana, right?
some of our Doggy Wana toys, our s'more, our squirrel, our party piñata, and also we'll include one of our files of doggy nip. Although this is not it, this is just a representation of what it will look like.
And then you're going to do another one of cat treats and bags. Is
Well,
that?
we're going to do 3 cat treats actually. So there's 3 cat treats and toys. So there'll be 3 winners on the cat side and there'll be 1 winner on the doggy side.
Okay, so here comes the question. And Kathy's writing this down. 3 winners for the cat side, 1 winner for the dog. And it's an easy question. If you were listening to me speak with our cool guest, Geralynn, we know she lives in Kansas. We know she spent some time in California and Vegas. But what state was she actually born in?
Oh, that's a really great question.
And I think Miss Kathy already knows that answer. I know. Hands down. And I bet Teresa knows it too. Teresa listens. So again, what state was Geralynn Cada born? And if you have dogs, please indicate that so that Kathy, who's going to assemble the winners to report them to Geralynn, if you are in the dog pack, she will let Geralynn know. And for us cool cats, there's 3 other prizes. I can't believe it. Thank you for giving away 4 actually prizes.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. And one of our prizes on the cat side, I'll send our new Get Hung Moon and Stars, Love You to the Moon and Stars toy. This is just going to be released in Petco soon. It's already available on our website,
Congratulations.
Cool.
And this is my I love you toy. Like I love you all. I love you to the moon and stars.
I love that.
People have been
I mean,
so wonderful to Meow Wana and have been such great supporters of our brand and believe in what we do and believe in our mission. And I'm really thankful for all of the support we've had in the last 2 years that we've really been heavily involved. It's actually been more like almost 3, but
Yeah.
gosh,
Well, you know, folks, she's very humble. She actually won the Pet Age Magazine's Icon Award. So she was the recipient of that. And that's a big field in the pet industry to get that accolade. So I give you pause and applause for that, Geralynn. Humbly,
Thank you.
do a lot behind the scenes. So, I mean, did you ever think growing up from that state, I'm not going to mention because I said it's up for a prize, that one day you would be, on Meowy Hour?
No, and I never thought I'd be on Meowy Hour, and I never thought I'd become a licensed AKC judge. Like I just became a licensed AKC judge in October.
Ladies, what do you think?
So I was thrilled, and I used to show cats as a child. So
what was your breed?
So Siamese was my breed. However, the 25-year-old cat that I had, or 24-year-old cat that I had, was a ginger. So I have a hard time choosing a favorite breed of cat. I love them all. I like it's just like I have a hard time. I have a hard time choosing a favorite breed of dog. I love them all. I've not met a dog I don't love. I've not met a cat I don't love yet. So, but if I were to choose right now, I'd go straight to ragdoll. I want a ragdoll. I want to get one for my mother. They're just hilarious.
Well, we got some people here that might be able to.
I love, yes, love, and that would be my choice. And I need to get a cat. I really, as a cat business owner, want to have a cat again. My stepson is deathly allergic, so I'm working on having him build up his tolerance, because I am allergic as well. But I literally was around cats so much during my life, I built up a natural immunity. But after I was away from them for a few years, it started coming back. So I really want to build that immunity up again and bring a cat into the house. So we do all of our testing with my friends' cats.
Yeah,
go ahead, Kathy.
Question about honeysuckle. Do you know much about honeysuckle with cats?
Oh yes, we actually just launched our honeysuckle line this year. There's one type of honeysuckle that has nepentolactone in it, and it is a Turkish honeysuckle. And so we took that honeysuckle and we added it to our bubbles this year. So we have a catnip oil honeysuckle oil bubble. Nice. And they smell divine, and cats love this. So do dogs. Dogs go just as crazy for honeysuckle. In fact, I sent a bunch of this to somebody, and someone in my shipping department forgot to put it in a plastic bag. So this spilled all over the contents of the box, and their dogs attacked the box when the box showed up at their front door.
It's a party. Hey guys, we're going to have Geralynn hang out with us. But at this time, we want to talk. We're going to do something different because this is the first show of 2021 on Meowy Hour. And that is, we're going to compare a couple of breeds because I always want to learn. So in the next time, we're going to talk about the difference between the American Shorthair and the British Shorthair. And our two all-breed cat judges, and now we have an all-breed dog judge here, Geralynn. Let's talk about that, starting with Kathy and Teresa. Take it away.
Okay, so we thought it'd be fun to kind of help educate both the people that know their pedigree breeds and don't know their pedigree breeds, because we get a lot of questions about blue cats and different things like that. We did a little bit on the Siamese a few weeks ago. So we thought it'd be interesting to compare the naturally occurring shorthair cat of Great Britain, which is called the British Shorthair, and the naturally occurring shorthair cat of North America, which is called the American Shorthair. Now, if you were with us last week, we just discussed the American Shorthair last week. It was our feature breed, and we talked about how it was a working cat. It's a strongly built cat. It has a very thick, short coat, a broad head, more of an oval shape to the head, and these very specially shaped eyes that are like an almond that's been cut lengthwise, round across the bottom and straighter across the top. I want to focus on two major differences between the British Shorthair and the American Shorthair, because we could get really technical, but I just want to focus on the head and the coat. So let's talk about the British Shorthair. The head is round. So when we were talking about the American Shorthair, we said it was more of an oval. The British Shorthair head is round. And they have a very distinguished muzzle. It's called a whisker break, where you have an indentation here behind the whiskers where it breaks before it goes into the cheekbones. So that's something that's very unique with the British short hair. And they also have a very short but very dense coat. In fact, they say the British short hair has more hairs per square inch than any other breed. So the coat is very, very thick and dense. Okay, so I just grabbed some parts of the CFA standard. The American short hair, I think they kind of went a little more verbose with their description because they really wanted to distinguish from the British short hair. The British short hair was such a popular breed, not only in Britain, but also in America. And it's a very popular breed in China and in other parts of Asia. So the British short hair is just round and massive and round and round and round. And in fact, the word round is mentioned like 34 times in the British standard. So everything is round or rounded. Where the American short hair, it says it's full cheek, it's oblong, it's, viewed from the front, you can divide it into 2 equal parts. So they really got a lot more descriptive with the differences between the heads. And we're going to look at some pictures here in a minute. The coat was also very similar in points. It's both short and dense. But the difference is the coat on the American is described as being hard in texture. And that's a difficult phrase to describe. But what it means is that it's thick enough that it's going to keep it warm, but it's not fluffy. It lays very flatly so that it's not going to get caught up in anything if it was outside going through some briars or something like that. It's a real dense, thick coat, but it's not fluffy. Where the British short hair coat, it says it's firm to the touch, which means when you push down on it, it resists you. So it's actually standing up away from the body instead of lying flat like it does on the American, but yet it's not double or woolly coated.
Kathy, I often describe the British short hair coat to that of a fine oriental rug, where you press down on the rug or you walk across the rug and it doesn't leave a footprint.
Right. That's resistance, that firm coat. Right. And it's crisp. It should have a crisp feel too, not a real soft feel. Their bodies are both well knit and powerful with a broad chest. And so they're very similar in both description and in points. I think the British generally overall have a little broader chest than the Americans do. And the eyes were very similar in points colors too, but the shape of it is very different. Like I was talking about, the Americans have that almond cut in half, where with the British short hair, it says large and round. And so you should have a round eye on your British. I want you to really focus on 2 things on this picture of this British. First of all, you notice those round eyes. You can see that muzzle pinch behind the muzzle that I was describing. But look at this coat. See how it's actually standing away from the body, and it looks like like Teresa was saying, with a good rug, if you pushed on it, it would resist your hand and fight you, pushing on it. When we look at the American, though, we see that eye shape I was talking about, straighter across the top, rounder on the bottom, and the coat is dense, but look how it lays against the body. And so it's going to be thick and dense, but it's not going to have that resilient touch to it. It would if you pushed it backwards, but not when you actually put your hand down on it. Look at the head structure between these 2. This is the more oval, as much head above the middle of the eye as there is below the middle of the eye. The muzzle blends more into the head. You don't have that whisker break. Whoops. The whisker break behind the muzzle, and this is a much rounder eye on this.
I always think of British short hair muzzle. Go back to that other picture there, Kathy. Yeah, there we go. As 3 little like cotton balls, one here, and then one there at the cheek. And then with the good British.
That's kind of me after Christmas.
No, that's the whole round, that round head. You just look at a really good British short hair head and it's just nothing but circles.
That's
Yeah,
really cool. I like
you
it.
can have the jowls out here, on any male cat, right? But this is much different through the muzzle area than you do between the two breeds. Here you can see again the profile and the breadth of this head and that muzzle and that really dense coat.
Oh, I just want to squeeze them.
I know I love those fat cheeks. And
I do too.
and
Yeah,
and
and
here,
remember with both of these cats, they were both working cats, way back in the day. So both of those muzzles are developed to catch and hold on to mice and snakes and vermin, and they're very well equipped to do that.
Wow.
exactly. And the British used to just be recognized in the one color, which we call blue, this gray color, and they were actually called British Blues. But then
Oh.
later they were accepted to all the different colors and patterns, and so then they changed the name from British Blue to British Shorthair. Um, and you can see, here's just a couple more pictures. Look at this coat. You can just tell that coat really
Oh,
is nice.
Doesn't
and
that look
soft.
great, Geralynn?
I just want to rub on it.
And even as the kittens, all kittens are going to be a little different. They're going to mature differently. But even these kittens, you can really see that roundness through the head, the roundness in the eyes, that distinguished muzzle. And even on these Americans, their head is a little round as babies, but you can still see the eye shape is different, the muzzles and the coat is different.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we just wanted to kind of give you a real quick overview education on the difference between the American Shorthair and the British Shorthair. Don't get caught up in color. Don't get caught up in pattern. Look for the nuances of the eye shape, the coat density and texture, and the head shape.
Nice
Whatever
job.
they are,
nice
they're
job,
100%
Kathy and
cute.
Teresa. Hey guys, the one thing we like is we want your feedback. So we're trying to mix it up with our breed profiles in 2021. So this is the first time we're doing a comparison. So if there's some things you want to know about cats and different breeds, we got two brainiacs here, all breed judges, and Kathy and Teresa. And now we've got in the house Geralynn, besides being a biochemist, a writer, a pet product designer, a dog trainer, and a cat lover, and going for your MBA.
Yes, I'm in my last semester.
Oh my gosh.
My
wow.
MBA.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. This has been a joy for me because this is the amazing semester where I take everything I've learned and I put it all to more good use.
Wow.
So I'm really grateful for UMKC Block School of Management. It's been a joy to attend and be a cohort. My class is amazing.
Do you sleep?
No, I don't sleep. In fact, I was just joking with my husband last night. We sleep but please understand, when I lived in Las Vegas, it was too hot for me to train at, by 10 or 11 in the morning, it's too hot.
Yeah.
So I got up at 2 in the morning to train, and I would train dogs from 2 in the morning to 8 in the morning, and then I would take a nap. So I'm still on a little bit of a weird schedule. So this school thing just kind of fit right into place. I'll sleep when I'm dead. How's that, Arden? Sleep when I'm dead.
All right. Well, I hope you live a very, very long time. We've got about 7 minutes left. So we want to talk about some things. Again, we've got 4 prizes coming from Geralynn Cada. Thank you, Meowy and Dougie Wanna. We also have that product gift basket coming to you from our sponsors, Pet King Brands, which consist of the Zymox and the Oratine products. Kathy, what's next? Are we going to talk about what's on the agenda?
Well, I just want to thank our sponsors again, and thank you so
Yeah.
much, Geralynn, for your generosity. Let's talk about one of your safety classes that's coming up.
Okay, it's a new year. We're off on the right paw. I'm going to try to get Geralynn to take one of my classes. These buddies of mine have actually taken it. We have a dog, cat, veterinary approved pet first aid and CPR class coming up on January 23rd. And it's a 4.5-hour class. You get certified for 2 years. You have to listen to my very bad jokes. And it's at Pet First Aid for You, because I believe you learn more when you feel safe and when you have fun. And it's all interactive, live via Zoom. So the Benny is you and your dog or cat can be learning together in the safety of their own homes. Now, on January 25th, I'm taking a big, bold move, all you cat fans. I've learned that all my cat buddies like to stay up late at night. So instead of making you come to a morning cat first aid CPR class of 3 hours, we're going to do it on a Monday night, January 25th. What do you guys think? Do you think that might draw more people?
Hey, why not try?
People are still working, even if they're working from home. Some are going into an office. They're not able to attend during the day. So I think that would be very beneficial to have people attend in an evening.
So I got all my schedule through April. And for any of you that are pet professionals, I do a lot of in-staff private classes in pet first aid and safety. So we're going to get Geralynn in on it. We're going to get you and Larry.
Yes.
You guys take a class.
So I'm in, because I need to be recertified. I actually always take the classes, and I do that for a reason. I have saved multiple pets' lives and multiple hearts by understanding how to dislodge something from a pet's throat or to do CPR. We actually saved my Great Dane when I was 6 years old. My brothers did CPR on one of our Great Danes and saved him from having a terrible issue. So I think it's vital. And for pet parents that don't, I'd kind of like to smack them. Let's just be real.
I like her.
Yeah, I like her. I think she should come back. She's fun. Hey guys, we're going to wrap up the show. We want to show, I'm going to salute one of the smallest cat breeds on the planet, the Singapore. Now, I'm not a cat judge. I just think they're beautiful. So as your licensed bartender for this kitty cocktail, I am calling it the Sidecar Singapore style. So I took a classic cocktail, and here it is up on the screen. And let's give a big shout out to Teresa Kiger. She is so amazing with her graphic talents. What do you guys think? You like this?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So I'm going to educate you a little bit. Just like last week, I told you about champagne. Champagne is only called champagne if it's a sparkling wine that is from a region in France, Champagne. So this recipe calls for cognac, and you're like, I can't find a cognac. Yeah, brandy. Brandy or cognac. Cognac is a region of France. So cognac is to champagne is like what champagne is to sparkling wine. So if you have a brandy, that's cognac, just not in the region of cognac. Does that help you guys?
Nice. I had no idea.
Cognac's very expensive.
Yeah. So we're going to
Is
go
vodka
less
close to
expensive
that?
with brandy. What?
Is vodka close to that?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. And everybody check out her glass, her shot glass of premium vodka. It's got ruby red slippers because you live where?
In Kansas. And it says it's all about the shoes.
It is.
So
to make this recipe today, you take your cocktail glass shaker with ice, and for it you pour in 2 ounces of cognac, aka brandy for us pedestrians. You then put 3/4 ounce of lemon juice, and then you're going to add an ounce of Cointreau. Cointreau, Grand Marnier, same things. One's more expensive than the other. It's an orange liqueur. So on that one, you're going to do 1 ounce of the Cointreau.
This sounds very flavorful.
It is.
It does. It sounds like it's going to knock me on my tail.
Now I'm laughing because Rusty stole the top of this. So I'm going to improvise.
Rusty thought it was a
So I got it a bigger.
Were you shaking catnip in there?
So you can take a rock glass like this, and ahead of time, just take a small paper plate and put some brown sugar, wet the rim of the cocktail glass, swirl it so that you now have a nice rimmed brown sugar. And then you simply pour your Sidecar Singapore style in. And at this time, I want us all to raise a glass. It is time to toast all cats, purebred and mutt cats from here all over the globe, because they make us better humans. Cheers.
Here's to being better humans.
Mm. Mm. That brown sugar is still in my mouth, swirling with the Cointreau, which is the orange liqueur, and the brandy that's warming my cockles. And I'm telling you, this is going to take me all night to sip it, but I'm going to enjoy it.
Here's to warm coddles.
Yeah. Let's give a big shout out, folks, to our very special guest, Geralynn Cada. I keep learning more and more, and I'm continuing to be very amazed by all that you do for pets and people. You're a kindred spirit, and I love you for that. Also love my team here. We've got Teresa Kiger and Kathy Black. These guys are talented individuals, and the three of us work as hard as we can to put together this Meowy Hour each week. My co-host, cocktail stealer Rusty and Casey are somewhere else. Next week, we have a veterinarian in the house, Dr. Hazel Carney. She's really fun. Wait till you hear her accent. It's great. Casey, what do you have to say? Oh, yeah. Casey says, don't forget, she's going to talk about like kitty piddle problems and hyperthyroidism. So she's going to help us. So I'm really happy about that. And again, this show is brought to you by the Cat Fancier Association, and we're very grateful to our sponsors, Pet King Brands, makers of Zymox and Oratine. So until next time, this is your host, Arden Moore. We'll see you same cat channel, same cat time. We'll see you on Meowy Hour. Thank you, everybody.